This in the video is Tencent ROG Phone 6. This mobile phone is actually a joint model of Tencent and Asus ROG. In addition to the appearance, its first impression on me is relatively heavy, bare metal 239 grams, 1 gram heavier than the iPhone 13 Pro Max, so it is heavy in the hand. However, its thickness control is not bad, and it is almost not much worse than a normal mobile phone. The front camera of the phone is placed on the bezel, neither knots nor punches. But when you turn the phone sideways, you will immediately find that its left and right are completely symmetrical, and the integrity of the screen is also well protected, which is simply too important for a gaming phone. ROG 6 has one speaker on each side. This is also a completely symmetrical design, with the two speakers facing the front. Cyberpunk feel comes from the back of the phone. In particular, the design of the lens module is very characteristic. What I didn't expect was that the latter pattern was wrapped with RGB lighting effects, which would light up in many scenes. For example, game calls, notifications, and charging, etc. It lights up at night when playing games, and it also supports very detailed customization, so there are a lot of ways to play. In short, such a mobile phone back I saw for the first time. The system UI is also a professional game style. Various built-in applications have been deeply optimized, completely invisible to the shadow of other mobile phone systems, and even with some game trends and sound effects, the details can't help but score a high score. This mobile phone case is one-to-one mold, the position of the lighting logo is reserved, and the integration on the mobile phone is very strong. Although a card needle is also made into a logo shape, these intentions can be seen everywhere. There are many differences between ROG 6 and regular mobile phones. For example, it has two charging ports. In addition to the normal charging port at the bottom, there is also a charging port in the center of the side. When the phone is held horizontally, the side interface is not only convenient for charging, but also convenient to connect its matching ROG Cool Fan 6 heat dissipation back clips. In addition, it also retains the 3.5mm headphone jack, which is now less and less. In short, this ROG G6 has many differences compared with ordinary mobile phones, both in appearance and design is very personal. I believe you also have this feeling. ROG 6 is equipped with a Samsung screen. This screen is 6.78 inches, is a symmetrical straight screen. The screen ratio is also very rare. The field of view when placed horizontally is very wide, the clarity of the display is still very sufficient, and the visual effect is more inclined to the classic Samsung style. One of the highlights of this screen is that it supports 165 Hz. It also supports a high adoption rate of 720 Hz and DC dimming function, which is very comfortable in low light environment and has high overall quality. However, due to the screen ratio, if you use it to watch videos, the black bars on the left and right sides will appear wider, and then remember to turn on the full screen function, and the effect will become better. ROG 6 is equipped with a new generation of Snapdragon. The configuration performance of this 12GB plus 256 GB in my hand, there is no need to say more. As for the PUBG, if you open to HDR, the frame rate can be stable between 59 and 60. If you turn on it smoothly, you can also turn on the 90 frame mode, which can also stabilize at 89 frames to 90 frames like full frames, which is very powerful. A special thing is that the processor of ordinary mobile phones is generally placed near the lens module, while the ROG 6 is in the middle position. The advantage of this is that the hands will not feel hot when playing games, and if it is combined with a heat dissipation clip, it can be directly clamped in the middle, which will not affect the operation. In terms of heat dissipation, the phone also uses a 3,300 mg desalination basin, a special aerospace and cooling material, with a large area of vapor chamber in double graphene. After half an hour of gaming, the temperature of the phone has been between 38 and 40 degrees, and the hottest time has not exceeded 42 degrees. Of course, if it is paired with a Cool Fan 6 heat dissipation back clip, the temperature of the mobile phone will be lower. In addition to performance and heat dissipation, ROG 6 has two experiences that are different from ordinary mobile phones. First of all, in terms of sound effects, its pair of speakers is so good that I don't think the effect shown in the video can even reach a third of its real reality. Let's briefly feel it. This speaker sound quality is fidelity. The sound is three-dimensional, and it is all facing the front. The left and right channels are very obvious, and the real experience is like a subwoofer. The second is its vibration experience, which is built into the X-axis vibration motor. A feature of this motor is that the amplitude of vibration is particularly large, and the feeling is not loose, very solid. It also deeply combines the scenarios of different games, which greatly enhances the immersion of the game. I've never experienced this feeling on any other phone. Just forgot to mention the two ultrasonic buttons, which is also a feature of ROG 6. It works by replacing the touchscreen with a virtual map, and while it's not an original feature, it's the most playable virtual button I've ever seen, with 10 ways to do it, including click, double tap, and swipe, and all of which can be customized. Since I am just getting started, I am not playing particularly well. This key also supports grip force sensing, which allows you to turn on some custom features by gripping hard. As a gaming phone, this ROG 6 is even more different from ordinary mobile phones. It is the only mobile phone I have personally touched that has a power of 6,000 mAh. Compared with the battery of about 3,000 to 4,000 mAh of ordinary mobile phones, the battery life of this mobile phone is almost double. When I tried to play, I found that the battery did not drop much after tossing for half a day, and I used the X performance mode to play the game for 2 or 3 hours continuously. This is a bit too powerful. Of course, such a large battery also has a bit of a negative impact, but for game lovers, I think it is worth it. In addition, it also ships a 65-watt fast charging head, which is also very fast. In terms of taking photos, its functions are no less than a professional camera phone, and the imaging effect is quite good. These photos in the video are taken with it and have not undergone any post-modifications. For software, for example, its QC can be individually configured and defined for each game, swiping in from the top left or top right corner of the screen. You can also open the game wizard, which has more than 10 game-related settings and functions, and I opened the frame rate and temperature display just now. Well, finally, let's summarize. It's really a bit too much like a game console. If someone doesn't call in, it's probably easy to forget it's a cell phone. Because it looks like a game console from design to experience, many key places have been changed for gaming, such as the side data interface designed separately, and the processor is placed in the middle of the phone. So how do you feel about such a game console? Share your opinions on it in the comments below.